The Asus ROG Ally 2 is coming out this year? Well, soon, don't you think? We're going to talk about that and so much more in the latest episode of Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast. Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Mekel Kasanova, host of Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast, #1 gaming and tech podcast in Hawaii, and source for gaming news and so much more. All right, so there's been some news that's been circulating for the last several days. I want to say about 5 days or so at the time of this recording of the Asus ROG Ally 2. And the news is also including the fact that this is apparently going to be dropping this year. Not even a year after the ROG Ally 1 came out. So, yeah. Interesting. So, we're going to dive in and, well, yeah, caught myself. I tripped over myself, but we're going to keep rolling with it. We're going to talk about all that and so much more in this episode. Before we do that, all the stuff that YouTube likes, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Please go ahead and do that. And with that being said, let's hop on over here to this article that Digital Trends, which I believe was the first one to break this news. They put this out here. This article was written by Monica J. White. So let's go ahead and check it out here. All right. So she says that the ROG Ally 2 is coming. Here's why that's a great sign. Again, January 26, 2024, Monica J. White, she wrote this article. And let's go ahead and going into it. So it says it's no surprise that Asus is already working on the next generation of its gaming handheld, the ROG Ally, but I never expected it to be this fast. According to Asus, the next gen ROG Ally is likely to be released this year. That might feel a little rushed, but it's great. It's a great sign for the future of handhelds. Oftentimes when news like this comes out, it's a rumor or a leak that you can't be sure about. However, this time the information comes straight from the source. Asus India's vice president for consumer and gaming PC, Arnold Su, told Tech Exclusive in an interview that the second generation handheld quotations most likely coming this year. All right, so let's go ahead and get more into it. So more of the quote says that we most likely will launch a second generation handheld gaming console this year, said Sue Given. Ron says, given that the first gen model came out in mid-2023, that would make for at most a year and a half between the two releases. We don't know what all will be in this new model, but that feels dangerously quick. And so don't get me wrong, the ROG Ally is a killer handheld and provides performance that the Steam Deck can only dream about. But these small portable gaming PCs aren't just about raw numbers and frame rates they can put out, that they can put out in AAA gamings. It's about the entire experience, and this is where Asus handheld runs into issues. The Asus ROG Ally, while powerful in huge part thanks to AMD's Ryzen Z1 Extreme chip, is not without its faults. Even months after the release, the device was having an issue with frying up microSD cards. The user experience factor is a little lacking when compared to the Steam Deck 2. It's not even just the fact that the Ally runs on Windows 11. That's not inherently a bad thing. If anything, it makes it more versatile than the Steam Deck. However, some quality of life updates could make the interface easier to interact with. In our review, we've also found that its 720p performance can be inconsistent, and it's actually gotten worse after Asus released new BIOS updates instead of getting better. I don't agree with this one because I found that it's only gotten better, but that's me. Anyway, let's keep going. Then there's the ROG Ally Z1. To this day, I'm not sure why it was made. It certainly makes almost no sense to buy it over the Z1 Extreme version. It's things like this that make me think that Asus may not be quite ready for a ROG Ally 2 just yet. What I would like to see instead, and I'm sure that some ROG Ally owners would agree with me, are more frequent updates to the existing console. They frequently update it as it is. What? Oh, whatever. The good news, however, is that it's proof that PC gaming handhelds aren't just a passing fad. Competition is heating up, and the quick pace of launches shows how much appetite exists in the market. More competition between manufacturers means more choices and hopefully better products in the end. All right, so I'm going to leave it right here on the ROG Ally here. And all right, let's go ahead and talk about this because I know a lot of people. This news that came out kind of had a lot of people in a lot of, panic because a lot of people probably just got it, especially over the holidays when it was marked down substantially, both the Z1 and the Z1 Extreme variations. And I can understand that type of, panic and uncertainty because you're not sure if, the product you got is even going to be lasting, and I hammer home this issue with 1X and with Ioneo. When you put out a device and then as soon as it gets in people's hands, you immediately announce another one, immediately start putting it out, then you get to a point where it makes utterly no sense. It feels like, you know, as a consumer, if you're purchasing this, you get the feeling that, hey, this purchase wasn't valid. They're gonna bring out a new one. This one's gonna be not worth it anymore. How can I trust? And it starts hitting home with the whole thing with trust. People will feel like, how can I trust this company if they're going to be releasing so many things? Like, they're not, are they going to support it? You get to that point with it. So with Asus, I know I went all the way around, right? Sorry, gummy kicking in right now, but with the ROG Ally 2 news, with the president saying that he probably didn't get the clearance to say that at all. That's not even information that they want to get out there. Um, I can see an ROG Ally 2 dropping in 2025 at the soonest. I don't think we're going to get anything in 2024 unless they're going to make a new model. I can see them making a new model that's a 1 terabyte option and them eventually phasing out the Z1 model, and you get the Z1 Extreme, and you have a 512 gig model and then a 1 terabyte model. They're going to readjust the prices to go in direct competition with the MSI Claw. That's something that I can see them doing. I don't really see them releasing a brand new device because, as it is, ROG Ally is one of the best devices out there, barring the micro SD card issues and the battery issues. Power to performance it's there. So why would you want to rush out another device and eat into your own market? Because already as it is, because of the lack of communication, that's one thing they could have put in this article. I think, writing this, it would have been better to say that instead of them releasing more updates, which they're very consistent with releasing updates as of now, it would make more sense to and be more respectful to us, the consumers, to have more open and frequent lines of communication there, because for a long stretch of time with all the updates we were having and or lack of it and all the issues we're having from micro SD cards to using it with the eGPU and so much more, mum's the word. They weren't really saying anything. So I don't know. You don't have the trust of the consumers given how many issues the ROG Ally had. So do we really want to rush out a new device when we don't have that goodwill? We don't have the trust of the people, and it's effectively going to, what is our ROI or return on investment by rushing this out and killing out something that's not even been out a year? Those are the things I look at, and I don't see that happening. At most a 1 terabyte model, and then your 512 gigs. The current top one is going to be the entry point. Maybe they might keep that regular Z1 and put that competitively priced. If anything, I would put that at Xbox Series S model price range. So you're gonna have that, and then the other thing I can see is them doing I don't know, April, maybe May 2024. Then you get a new ROG Ally. But what more are they going to be able to do other than be able to do a spec bump? Like that's something. And if you guys have any ideas about it, please, sound off in the chat or in the comment section down below. But I don't know. I only see them because I don't see us, and I don't see these companies that are making these handheld gaming PCs. They're not trying to go for the most powerful thing, because the more power you're going to put into this, the more you're going to have a lesser battery life and more chances of like heating issues, because we're not able to put more in it while balancing out that, heating cooling issue. The most I can see them doing is putting in a bigger battery and changing out the regular sticks to make them Hall effect sticks, and essentially being 1-to-1 with the MSI Claw, except instead of using the Intel chip, the Intel Ultra 7 and Ultra 5 chip, it's using the AMD Z1 Extreme chip. So there'll be levels of parity there. You know what I mean? Like that's something of how I look at that. I could see them doing that at most a year from now. Maybe there's a Z2 Extreme or something incrementally more powerful. But that's the thing, is like in this type of market, it's going to be incremental. There's not big jumps where they can just throw out, oh, this is going to give us PS4 Pro level quality. And I'm talking 4K 60 or 4K checkerboard 60. We're not there yet. And these companies are still trying to figure out screen resolution. Steam Deck's got 720p, ROG Ally, MSI Claw have 1080p with VRR, 144 hertz or 120 hertz. And then you got the big boy here. You got this right here, the Legion Go, and you got a 2K screen with the orientation that it has. 1X players, like all these other devices doing their own thing. A 1080p screen, I think that needs to be a standard. We haven't figured out screen, we haven't figured out battery, we haven't fully mastered cooling. So why rush a new product out? That's just where I'm at. I don't, if you just got an ROG Ally and you are worried about, is your purchase going to last you, or is this something that, Asus is just screwing over the consumer again? Then I want to put you at ease and be like, no, more than likely, and I'm not saying this with certainty because I don't know, I don't work at Asus. I haven't heard anything from them. And if it wasn't in the works, I wouldn't know about it. But I look at this and I'm reading the room, I'm assessing everything that we got, so far that's out. And the only thing I can come to is that it would be putting it on the level of parity against the MSI Claw. That is the only thing I can see them doing, not anything else. So you're going to have your 1 terabyte, your 512. Possibly might keep the Z1 model, but you're going to effectively have with the Asus ROG Ally 2, or ROG Ally rather, not 2, you're going to have the Z1 Extreme processors versus the MSI Claws, Intel Ultra 7 chipsets. And so they put these in parity, duke it out, and really that's going to make it to where the consumer's going to walk in, they're going to be like, what do I pick up? What do I buy? These both got the same specs except for the processor. That's the biggest difference between the two of these. That's just generally how I'm seeing how that's going to play out, especially because if they don't course correct the price, then you've got essentially the ROG Ally here at $699, and you got $599, I believe it's $599 for the MSI Claw, and then $649 for the 1 terabyte model. So, and we put this at $699, $649, $599, right? So if you're here And these have basically the same specs as this, but the difference is that this has an Intel Ultra chip. Z1 Extreme, you look at it, for the most part, there's parity between them. Why am I going to spend $50 more for this and only get 512 gigs of storage versus I'm paying $649 and I'm getting 1 TB, or I can pay $100 less and get the same amount of storage as this. The value just isn't there with ROG Ally. But if they bring their prices down, even do one better, drop them $50 cheaper than whatever MSI is, then you can eat into that market. That's the economics of that. So that's my thoughts on it. No, I don't think we're going to get an ROG Ally 2 anytime soon. Well, at least within at least a year to a year and a half from now. Not now. This year is probably going to get refreshes. And these refreshes are probably going to also have better, better cooling, better thermal pasting, and better housing for the micro SD card issue. That they're probably going to, change it, even though they've done a quiet relaunch, swap out of what they currently had to what they have now on the market that you can go out and buy. They probably want to push out this refresh for that. That's the most thing I can say that I can see happening, is this being a refresh and not anything more than that. But that's my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? Definitely sound off in the comment section down below, or if you're watching this as it's streaming or premiering live, chat about it. Y'all get the conversation going. I'll let your boy here, do all the stuff that YouTube likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And other than that, man, I'm telling you right now, man, I gotta get up on out of here. I gotta get the hell up out of here, because these Delta 9, Delta 8, Delta 10 THC CBD gummies, this shit done hit me real hard right now, and I'm about to float on off to the moon. So before I go for takeoff, do me a solid, like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, ding the notification bell. If you're listening to it on any of the podcasting outlets, be it Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, which is a sponsor of the show, or iHeartRadio, Pandora, any of those, right? Leave a rating, like it, share it around, and leave a comment if you can do that. They'll help me out, keeps the light on. And it keeps me being able to go to the moon too. All that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.